Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you could very well be one of the most significant moves in the NFC North this season. It's a rumor swirling around that's got everyone talking, especially here in Green Bay. The buzz started with none other than Adam Schefter, who dropped some pretty explosive news about the Detroit Lions and their future plans. And trust me, this isn't just idle chatter. It has the potential to reshape the division entirely. The Lions, sitting at 4-3 so far this season, are apparently considering a trade involving Aiden Hutchinson, one of their most promising young stars. And if this happens, it's not just about one player moving from Detroit to Green Bay. It's about a shift in power, a strategic move that could impact the NFC North for years to come. So what's the scoop? According to Schefter, the Lions, despite their solid record, are feeling the squeeze financially after recent extensions and are eyeing some strategic moves. They would be willing to part ways with Hutchinson, who's been an absolute force on the defensive line, in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft, which the Packers would send to Detroit. This is a big deal, especially considering Hutchinson's profile. Drafted just last year in 2022 as the second overall pick, Hutchinson has already made a serious impact in his short career. He's accumulated 32 sacks, which is impressive for a player with just a couple of seasons under his belt, and has generated around 220 pressures. His PFF pass rush grade hovers around 91. 8 up to September 15, 2025, ranking him among the top 5 edge rushers in the league. That's elite, folks. And it's not just about sacks. Hutchinson is a disruptive force, forcing quarterbacks into hurried throws and creating pressure that disrupts entire offensive schemes. In 2025 alone, Hutchinson has tallied 8 sacks through 7 games, including a standout performance in Week 5 against the Bears, where he recorded 2 5 sacks. His win rate for pass rushes is around 22%, which is considered elite territory, and he's been a tackling machine with 42 stops, plus forcing 3 fumbles. And let's not forget the advanced stats, EPA per pressure of +0.29, which measures his efficiency in converting pressure into meaningful plays. Even with a minor ankle injury in 2024, Hutchinson has remained productive, forcing 18 hurries, which puts him in the top 20% league-wide for disruptiveness, comparable to Nick Bosa's versatility and explosiveness. This guy is a game changer, and it's no wonder the Packers are eyeing him so intensely. Now, why would the Lions even consider trading him? Well, that ties into their cap situation. They're sitting with roughly $13 million over the cap for 2026, and after recent extensions like Sewell's deal, they're shifting focus to bolster their offensive line. They've got a strong defense, allowing only about 24 points per game, but they're also looking to free up some space and add youth to their secondary. Meanwhile, the Packers, with around $20 million in cap space, are looking for ways to bolster their pass rush. Their pass rush stats tell a different story. They've only managed 18 sacks in 7 games, which is a significant drop compared to previous seasons. They're missing that consistent edge presence that can turn games around, especially against top-tier quarterbacks. Enter Hutchinson. If the Packers manage to land him, it would be a massive upgrade for their front 7, pairing him with a player like Van Ness, who's been impressive with a PFF grade of 82. 4 could take the Packers' pass rush to another level. Imagine a scenario where Hutchinson, in his second year, projects to hit around 14 sacks in 2025. That's a game changer. His presence would elevate the pressure rate from about 37% to roughly 44%, significantly increasing the chances of disrupting opposing offenses. And it's not just about sacks. His ability to generate pressures, especially on third down, would be a huge boost. Currently, the Packers' third down defense isn't as effective as they'd like, allowing conversion rates around 43%. Hutchinson's addition could improve that number to around 50%, making life much harder for opposing quarterbacks. And think about the versatility he offers. Hutchinson is excellent at stunts and twists, which can confuse offensive lines and reduce big play opportunities. Drops from an average of 10 big plays allowed per game down to around 7. That's a huge difference in a league where every yard counts, especially in the playoffs. Plus, his ability to mentor rookies like Van Ness could do wonders for the entire pass rush unit, creating a culture of relentless pressure and constant improvement. For the Packers, this isn't just about one player. It's about building an entire defensive front that can dominate in the NFC. Now let's talk about the potential impact on the big picture, the Super Bowl picture. The odds for the Packers to make a deep playoff run could see a significant boost with Hutchinson in the fold. Currently, their odds are around +1, 200, but with his addition, some projections suggest they could tighten to +850, similar to the impact we saw with Watt during the Cardinals' 2021 campaign, which dramatically improved their defense. Hutchinson would be an X-factor against teams like the 49ers, allowing just 3-4 sacks per game this season. His presence could increase their defensive EPA by a notable 14%, pushing the Packers closer to NFC contenders and potentially adding at least +2. 5 wins to their projected total. That's no small feat, especially considering the NFC's competitive landscape this year. The Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys are all in the mix, but with a player like Hutchinson, the Packers could tip the scales in their favor, creating a defense that's not just good but elite. Looking at the broader implications, this trade could be the move that finally elevates the Packers' defense into the upper echelon of the league. It's about more than just talent. It's about strategy, about making a statement that Green Bay means business. The combination of Clark inside with Hutchinson rushing from the outside would give opposing quarterbacks nightmares. And with the secondary improving, thanks to the added pressure up front, the Packers could become a true powerhouse in the NFC. The division rivals, especially the Lions and Vikings, will need to rethink their approach if this trade goes through. The Lions, in particular, might regret parting ways with Hutchinson, a player who's just starting to hit his prime and could be a cornerstone for the next decade. Of course, all of this hinges on whether the trade happens or not, but the implications are clear. If the Packers pull this off, it's a game changer. It's about building an empire on the edge rush, one that can take on the best defenses and shut them down when it matters most. The NFC North could see a new king emerge, and the Packers are positioning themselves for that very reality. The road to the Super Bowl is always tough, but with a move like this, they're taking a giant leap forward in their quest for another championship. And it's not just speculation. Fans are already imagining the possibilities. Imagine Hutchinson lining up next to Clark and Van Ness, wreaking havoc on opposing quarterbacks week after week. That kind of front seven would be a nightmare for any offense, especially in the playoffs when every sack, pressure, and disruption counts. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off tremendously, pushing the Packers into that rarefied air of NFC elite teams. The organization has been strategic in recent years, and this potential move fits perfectly into their long-term vision of building a dominant defense that can carry them deep into the postseason. So, whether this trade materializes or not, it's clear that the Packers need to keep a close eye on the situation. The NFC North is heating up, and the Packers are right in the middle of the action. With a few strategic moves, they could not only contend for a playoff spot but also set themselves up for a serious Super Bowl push. The season is far from over, and the drama is just beginning. Stay tuned, because the coming weeks could bring some of the most exciting developments in recent Packers history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster trade? Do you believe the Packers should go all in and try to secure Hutchinson, or do you think Detroit should hold on to him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. This is a dynamic situation, and your insights could spark a lot of great discussions here in the community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest Green Bay Packers news. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned because the best is yet to come. The season's far from over, and with moves like this on the horizon, the Packers' journey to another Super Bowl could be closer than ever. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.